Hi everybody, Nate here from WASD20. Welcome back. Today I've got a review for you. We're going to be taking a look at Gamescience dice. What is the deal with these funny looking things? Stick around and find out. Now before we get into the review, I do want to take a moment here and thank the patrons. The WASD20 patrons are people who are just crazy enough to give me a little bit of their hard-earned money every month, and it is greatly appreciated. They are part of what helps make this content right here happen. So thanks so much, patrons. If you're interested in learning how you can become a part of that community, check out the Patreon link down in the video description below. All right, let's get down to it and take a look at the dice. All right, so here we have it, guys. These are Gamescience dice. I've been looking at these for a couple years now and finally pulled the trigger and bought some over the summer back in July or June. I don't even remember, but there was a sale going on, and I decided, yep, I'm going to try them out. I'm going to get some, and everyone's doing it. So I got one 7-die set here, just plain Polyhedral set, and I got the ugly dice set, which comes with 9 dice of a variety of colors. You don't really know what colors you're going to get. I'm going to put a photo up here too because the colors on my camera sometimes don't show up properly. One of these days I'll get a new camera. But anyway, a couple things that make Gamescience dice unique. First is they have very sharp edges. You can probably tell a little bit. My exposure might be a little too high. There we go. Maybe that's a little better. But you can tell that these have very sharp edges on them. No rounding really at all on these things. The D4s do have a little, the tip basically cut off just as an act of mercy on your feet. It's not cut off totally flat, but yeah. Yeah, very sharp edges on all of them here. It's a lovely kind of light brown. This is the only one I would say. Maybe it's kind of ugly. I don't know. I think that overall they're kind of pretty. There's a weird charm to these, right? And there's a weird charm to the ugly dice, and that's why people buy them. So a couple things here. The numerals are pretty standard. I don't really like that the ones on them are, you can probably kind of see that, they're just really faint and they always have a circle around them. This one you'll be able to see better because I actually inked this one. They do not come inked. So yeah, the one it's diagonal. It's got a circle around it. And it's really thin compared to the other ones. That's just the way they are on these. The other kind of odd thing about them is they have some, I guess they call them sprues or something. There's just these kind of blemishes in the plastic here and there. And you can see here, just little things sticking out. Now, despite this, the real draw of Gamescience dice, the reason people really like them, is because the way they are manufactured, they are guaranteed to be the most balanced dice. They're precision dice. They are not tumbled. And the way that they are cast, it's even consistent throughout. Whereas if you do get a Chessex or WizKids die, you can bet that there's going to be some uneven material inside. And also they are tumbled, so some of the edges are rounded more than others, and you're going to get some problems with something like that. Now, I have not generally noticed a big issue. I do have one die. It's actually the D20 that came with my D&D starter set, the dark blue one, that I have wondered about. Is this thing balanced? Because it seems to roll pretty high. But other than that, I've never really had that experience with dice where I can tell, like, man, I'm just rolling a lot of this one number. But there is a certain peace of mind, I suppose, even if you haven't noticed it with other dice, in knowing that the way these are manufactured is going to give you a much more random roll than your standard Chessex, WizKids, Q Workshop, and really lots and lots of other brands. Pretty much any other mainstream brand of dice that you're going to get is not going to be nearly as random as these. So again, that's the real draw to these. Now, some people really do like the look of them as well, just the sharper edges. They really like that, and you know, the weird kind of quirks with the sprues don't bother some people. At first, it was kind of bothering me, and I was really trying to get rid of them. I have a file here. I have some like really fine like emery sandpaper as well, and I've got an X-Acto knife, and so I was trying to get rid of some of those. Oh, my blade just fell out. Get rid of some of those imperfections and whatnot. But the website says that those are not going to affect your roll at all. I guess I take their word for it on that. And yeah, I kind of got over it and just kind of gave up and said, I guess that's just part of the charm of the dice. So we can take a look at these ones here too. These are the full polyhedral set. I got the turquoise color, which I think is quite lovely. So you can see that I have inked some of these dice with varying degrees of success. I finally sprung last week, and I got a paint marker remover. So they recommend using paint markers and paint marker remover. And they actually sell a kit of this. I think it's like, I don't know, maybe $12 for a black and white and remover. I don't really remember exactly how much it is. I'll put a link to these products in the video description. And also know that those are affiliate links. I am a Gamescience Dice affiliate as of last summer. Because it was a free program to sign up for. So if you buy your dice through my link, I get a little cut too, and that helps support the channel. And I am looking at buying more Gamescience dice. I would really like to get some of the clear ones. Like the clear ones really can look like gems. I'll put a picture of some of them up here, and they're just beautiful. The question then will be, do I ink them and do I ruin that gem-like appearance? They can be a bit hard to read if you don't ink them, but some people I think would probably prefer not to and just leave them as is. And if you have decent lighting, it'll be okay to read. But I do want to ink all of mine. And so I've found that I've had much better success now that I got the paint remover marker. Some people have just taken a crayon, wax, and just kind of rub them back and forth. That was the old school method. The original D&D box sets actually came with dice and a white crayon for you to ink, for you to fill in, wax them up yourself. And you know, people have used Sharpies. People have used all kinds of different ways to ink their dice, but I have kind of settled on the black and white paint markers with the paint marker remover, and I am planning to very soon, sometime in the next week or two, do a video on how to ink Gamescience dice. So overall, I do really like them. It is that peace of mind that you are going to get a more random roll with these. I think that is really the draw, and there is kind of a certain charm to them as well. The process of inking them is kind of a pain. You pay $5 extra if you want Gamescience to ink them. In hindsight, perhaps that was worth it. The dice are going to be already a little more expensive, even if you don't get them inked. This set right here, I think, was $10.50. And this ugly dice set was $9. And the more translucent sets or transparent sets are going to be about $15 or $14, I believe. So they are a little more expensive, but again, you're paying for that extra peace of mind that you're going to get a more random roll. These are going to be well balanced and are going to hold up in game. They also say that give a 2-year wear-free guarantee. 2-year guarantee against premature wear. They say no other dice manufacturer dares match that. So I don't know. So yeah, overall, I really like them. I think they roll nicely, and they have a nice look to them. I like the color selection a lot. One thing I will say is that in this Traveler Dice Tower, I did find that my Gamescience dice did not do so well. Some of them kind of got stuck here and there, and I think it's because the edges are so sharp. I'm not really having a problem right now, but if I did 2d6s... Oh, see, it works now. Anyway, I did have a couple instances where some of the d6s did get stuck because of the sharp edges there, and that was kind of odd. But this is a pretty small opening for a dice tower, so more a matter of the dice tower, really, than a matter of the dice themselves. So yeah, that's it for this one. Overall, I think Gamescience dice have a good thing going. They've been around for a while. They have a really great reputation. They seem to have really good customer service, and they're really one of the original dice companies out there for D&D polyhedral dice, which is really cool. So I do recommend people checking them out. I can definitely see that if you are someone who's really particular about having, like just finely crafted, perfectly unblemished dice, you're not going to get that from these. These are going to have some little blemishes here and there, but they say that's not going to affect the roll. And overall, you're still going to get a much more random roll than you would with a lot of those extremely expensive dice. Things like artisan dice just can't guarantee the sort of precision that you're going to get from these because of the way that they are manufactured. All right, so here you have it, Gamescience dice. I recommend them. I think they're great. And stay tuned for that video demonstrating how I will ink them. I'm going to finish inking them up on camera and show how I do it with this method right here. And yeah, that should be coming out sometime in the next week. So everybody take care. You'll see me again very soon.